everyone, welcome to Financial Management video number 7. We are covering cost of equity share capital. We have seen there are 6 methods for calculating the cost of equity share capital, that is dividend yield method or dividend price ratio method, and dividend yield plus growth in dividend method, then earning yield method, earning yield plus growth method, realized yield method, and CAPM, that is capital asset pricing model. The first two methods we already discussed, that is dividend yield method or dividend yield plus growth method. Now we are going to discuss earning yield method. It's very simple to remember. That is in the previous method, that is dividend yield method, the equation to find out the cost of equity capital was DPS by MPS into 100. That is dividend per share by market price per share into 100. Here, according to earning yield method, you just change the numerator. Okay. So the equation will be earning per share by market price per share into 100. That is EPS by MPS into 100. I repeat, what is earning yield method? So according to this method, cost of equity capital is minimum rate which we have to earn on market price of a share. Its formula is earning per share divided by market price per share. We have to just write earning per share of the company instead writing dividend per share. Okay, so KE, that is cost of equity share capital, is equal to EPS by MPS. Okay, let's see an example. A firm is considering an expenditure of rupees 60 lakh for expanding its operations. The relevant information is as follows. This number of existing equity shares, rupees 10 lakh. Market value of existing share is rupees 60. Net earning rupees 80 lakh. Compute the cost of existing equity share capital and of new equity share capital, assuming that new shares will be issued at a price of rupees 50 per share and the cost of new issue will be rupees 2 per share. Listen, I am not using board to show the calculation. Through slide only I am trying to explain the solution. That's why I am using very simple problem. You please take note the problem when I am reading, okay? Otherwise, when I change the slide, you may not remember what are the relevant figures. If you can remember the figures, no problem, carry on. Okay, so what was the equation for calculating cost of equity share capital according to earning yield method? KE is equal to EPS by MPS, that is earning per share by market price per share. First, we need to find out the earning per share. For that, we have to divide the total earning by the total number of shares. So how much is the total earning? See the problem, it was 80 lakh, and how much is the number of shares? It is 10 lakh. So 80 lakh divided by 10 lakh, you will get rupees 8. That is our earning per share. Okay, then apply it in the formula, that is K is equal to EPS by MPS. That is K is equal to EPS, how much? That is rupees 8. That is 8 divided by MPS 60. 8 by 60 into 100, you will get 13.33%. There is one more question, that is compute the cost of existing equity share capital and of new equity share capital, assuming that new shares will be issued at a price of rupees 50 per share and the cost of new issue will be 2 per share. So cost of new equity capital we have to find out. So cost of equity share capital is equal to EPS divided by MPS into 100. EPS how much? Rupees 8, right? So MPS, there is a change. See the question, that is new equity share capital assuming that new shares will be issued at a price of rupees 50 per share and the cost of new issue will be rupees 2 per share. So we have to deduct that rupees 2 from the 50. So 80 divided by 50 minus 2. So when we apply it in the equation, 8 divided by 48 into 100, you will get 16.67%. Next method is earning yield plus growth method. That is, we have seen that in dividend yield plus growth in dividend method, it is based on the assumption that company is growing, right? So its market value is also increasing. So the company can provide some more profit according to growth. So you have to add a growth percentage to the previous equation. That is, you have to add it in the previous calculated cost of equity share capital. So here cost of equity capital will be earning per share divided by market per share plus rate of growth, that is DPS by MPS plus growth percentage. So I am not explaining a separate problem for this, okay? Next method is realized yield method. That is, one of the major limitation of dividend yield method or earning yield method, that both methods are based on the estimation of future dividend or earning. There are large number of factors which are uncontrollable and uncertain. And if any financial risk will happen, we cannot use it in the future planning, or we also cannot take any decisions related to estimation of return on investment. So realized yield method is best method for calculating the cost of equity share capital. So when the future dividend and market price is uncertain, it is very difficult to estimate the rate of return on investment. So the average rate of return actually realized in the past few years by the investor is used to determine the cost of capital. So realized yield is the actual return earned during the holding period for an investment. So in the realized yield method, an investor expects to earn the same amount of dividend which the organization has paid in the past few years. So in this approach, the growth in dividend is not considered as a major factor for deciding the cost of capital. So this method is based on actual earning earned on all amount of investment. So the equation will be actual earning per share divided by market price per share into 100. So the point to note in this method is that in realized yield approach, dividend on per share will be real value, not the expected value, right? So next method is CAPM, that is capital asset pricing model. That is, the cost of equity can be calculated by using capital asset pricing model. All of you know that in order to reduce risk, we diversify our investments, right? After this diversification, some level of risk will always exist. So investors naturally seek a rate of return that compensate for that risk. So capital asset pricing model helps to calculate investment risk and what return on investment an investor should expect. So in the coming video, I will explain CAPM in detail. So thank you friends. See you in the next video.